All right, if you're anywhere near the world of marketing or publishing, you have definitely felt this. The ground is literally shifting under our feet. You look at a search results page and well, it's different. And now there's this whole new alphabet soup of acronyms getting thrown around. GEO, AEO, LLMO. So what on earth does this all mean for the work we do every single day? I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's the one keeping us all up at night. You've spent years, maybe even a decade, getting your SEO strategy just right. And now AI waltzes in. Do you have to tear up that playbook and start from scratch? The anxiety is totally real. But don't worry, in this explainer, we're going to cut through the noise and get some real clarity. You know, for the longest time, we all knew the game, right? Get your site as high up on that classic list of 10 blue links as possible. Simple. But now you're greeted with these AI-generated summaries and chatbots right at the top of the page. And let's be clear, this isn't some small tweak. This is a fundamental change to how search works.
So to navigate this brand new landscape, we first need to learn the language. These new terms, GEO, AEO, and LLMO, they're right at the heart of all the confusion. So let's do this. Let's break down what they are, and maybe more importantly, what they aren't. And this really gets to the core of it. Is this a total revolution that demands we invent completely new strategies from the ground up? Or are we just taking those classic, time-tested SEO principles and pouring them into some shiny new AI-shaped bottles? Let's find out. Okay, before we get totally lost in all the new buzzwords, let's just take a second and ground ourselves in what hasn't changed. Because here's the good news. The pillars of good SEO haven't just crumbled into dust. In fact, they've actually become the foundation for everything that's coming next. And what's so interesting is just how timeless these three pillars really are. First, you've got to create genuinely helpful, user-focused content and do it at scale. Second, your site's technical nuts and bolts have to be solid so search engines can actually crawl and understand it. And third, you have to build authority using trust signals like backlinks. These have always been the keys to the kingdom, and believe me, they still are. You know, all of this really rolls up into one absolutely critical concept, EEAT. That's experience, expertise, authority, and trust. This is the scorecard search engines use to grade your content. It is the ultimate measure of quality, and it's just as vital for getting your content cited in an AI overview as it is for ranking #1 in those old blue links. All right, so with that solid SEO foundation in place, let's finally meet the new players on the field: GEO, AEO, and LMO. It's really helpful to think of these not as replacements for SEO, but more like specialized lenses we can use to focus our efforts in this new AI-driven world. So first up, we have AEO, or Answer Engine Optimization. This is the most tactical, on-the-ground layer. It's all about structuring your content to be the single, direct, concise answer to a user's question. Think about owning that little answer box in a People Also Ask section. The goal here is to be so direct and so good that the user doesn't even need to click anywhere else. Okay, next is GEO, or Generative Engine Optimization. This is a step broader. The goal here isn't just to rank in a list. It's to be cited and summarized by AI systems like Google's AI overviews. Success here means your brand name is explicitly mentioned as the source, right there in the AI-generated answer. That's a powerful new kind of visibility. And finally, we have LLMO, which stands for Large Language Model Optimization. Think of this as the biggest picture, most strategic view of all. This is about optimizing your entire digital presence, everything, so that the massive AI models themselves see your brand as a go-to authority on a topic. It's about becoming a trusted source that's baked right into the AI's core training data. You know, this quote really just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly sums up the one goal that unifies all of this. At the end of the day, AI has to get its answers from somewhere, right? It's pulling from reputable, reliable resources. Your job, whether you call it SEO, AEO, or GEO, is to create such high-quality, trustworthy stuff that you become that indispensable resource. So, where does the industry actually stand on all this? Well, like with any big change, there's a pretty healthy debate going on. It's not really about whether the fundamentals matter, everyone agrees they do. It's more about how we should frame this new reality and, crucially, how we measure success within it.
So you've basically got two main camps. On one side, you have the "it's just SEO" camp. They argue that, hey, these new terms are just fancy labels for modern SEO. The tactics are the same. Create the best answer. It's just being delivered through a new channel. Then, on the other side, you have the visibility has expanded camp. They argued that the very definition of success has changed. For them, getting a citation in an AI overview, even if it doesn't result in a click, is a massive brand win.
So what are you supposed to do with all this? The good news is you don't actually have to pick a side in this debate. We can build a unified strategy, a kind of best of both worlds approach that works for both traditional SEO and the new world of AI. So here are 4 really practical steps to future-proof your content. First, focus on creating citation-worthy material. Make your stuff so good that people and AI have to reference it. Second, format it for easy reading. Use clear headings, bullet points, basically make it skimmable for both humans and machines. Third, help the AI recognize you as an entity by keeping your brand details consistent everywhere online. And finally, a big one. Answer the question first, then explain later. Give that direct answer right up top. Then you can go into all the detail you want.
So what's the final verdict? Well, here it is. This is an evolution, not a revolution. The core strategy, creating amazing, high-quality, user-focused content, is exactly the same. What's evolved are the tactics we use and the new ways our content can get seen.
So, my advice? Don't get distracted chasing every single new buzzword that comes along. Instead, just double down on what has always worked, building exceptional quality, proving your authority, and presenting it all in a clear, logical structure. That, right there, is how you future-proof your work.
And all of this leads us with one last really important question to think about. If these AI summaries mean fewer clicks to our websites, then how should we redefine what success even looks like? Is it about brand awareness from being cited? Or is it about the quality of the few leads that do manage to click through? The metrics are changing, for sure, but the mission is still the same. Be the best answer. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.